guys? What's happening, people? It's your girl Mina. Welcome back to my channel, and you lot already know what it is. I always forget to come off the intro, because I'm just enjoying the vibe in the background. Ever since I've put that song as on my intros, I just forget to go live, guys. I press go live and I press the intro, and I just forget. I literally just forget. Big up to everyone. You lot know what it is. I hope you've had a wonderful Sunday. Sunday. I hope you've had a wonderful Sunday, whatever you've been up to. No Manchester United men's, but the content's still contenting, and the Manchester United news is still flowing through. I didn't do a video Friday or Saturday because unfortunately I've been busy with family. I'll be honest, I've been busy with family. I got to spend some time with my family that I ain't seen in a minute. So I didn't do any streams, and you know what, guys, I'm actually a disgrace because I have not done a stream since I think Tuesday or Monday. So I apologize. I wasn't really in the mood in the week to do a stream, but that's life sometimes. When you're a content creator, guys, you fake it till you kind of make it. You just always fake it. So even when you're not feeling up to it, a lot of people I know just fake it. But me, I'm not like that. If I don't feel like doing a stream and I'm not feeling up to it, I just won't. And it also helps that there's not really much to do. But I'll be back tomorrow. We will be doing a double header for AFCON. The Minute and Marcel show, call it the Double M, is coming this week. There's a lot of stuff basically coming throughout the week. Big up to everyone. You lot know what it is. I had to do a stream to talk about, potential transfer links, Choupo-Moting, Brobbey, whatever. Brobbey. No, it's Brobbey. Brian Brobbey. It's a little bit of a tongue twister, but Brian Brobbey, and of course the biggest of it all, Omar Berrada. Shout out to I think he's Moroccan. I think he's Moroccan. Let me just double check. I think he is of Moroccan descent. Big up to him. But of course, the big news surrounding that. So I thought, you know what? Why not do a Sunday late night? It's not late night, actually. It's nearly 9:30 here in the UK. But I thought a nighttime stream where we can just chop it up and talk about it in a bit more depth and, vibe with the community. You guys know what it is. Firstly, big up to everyone. I hope you're all doing well. I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's healthy. I hope, it's cold here in the UK. But, we're still trying to be happy. Big up to MUFC. Cooling says, big up Queen Sis. Big up Joe says, big up Mina. Big up Ridwan says, what's the song? The song is an unreleased song. My friend, big up to Sherry, a Swedish artist. It's an unreleased song from a couple years back. And I just used that part for my intro. But big up to her. Big up to Boss Robbo. Big up to Riri. Big up Imran says that intro song is lit. It's just a nice little vibe. I just like it. You know what? I had it for so long unreleased. I don't think she's ever going to release the song. And I said to her, listen, I'm just going to use it for my intro. Yeah, just a beat part. Because it's nice. He is Moroccan, speaks so many languages. Yes, I've seen. Let's start with Omar Berrada. Omar Berrada. I think that's how I've seen him being announced on Sky and etc. Omar Berrada speaks 4 languages. He actually speaks 4 languages. He learned Spanish whilst working at Barcelona, or before he started working at Barcelona. He started to do to learn Spanish so that it could help him in his role over there. He speaks English, he speaks Arabic, and I can't remember I think the next language is French. I think he speaks French. So that's the 4 language he speaks. Manchester United poaching him from Manchester City. Listen, I know a lot of you guys are probably feeling like, you know what? We're back. I'm not going to say I'm skeptical, but I'm not so quick to jump on the we're back thing. I absolutely think this is the step in the right direction. And it's the step that Manchester United needed. We've went from having Ed Woodward as, a CEO, having people that don't have footballing experience, don't have experience of running a football club. And you know what? We could say the same about Berrada prior to, being the chief operating officer at Manchester City. He never really had experience in football because his job was communications, marketing, etc., that kind of stuff. But he spent, I think, enough time around it to, learn on the job and learn, through experience, which sometimes is better than education, in my honest opinion. Sometimes learning through experience is actually better than sitting in a classroom. It's as simple as that. It's better than sitting in a classroom and, getting a degree in football. I don't know if there's any such degrees, but I feel like United are moving towards the right direction. One thing, if you watch United View today, you know what I said. The fact that this wasn't sussed out, it wasn't leaked to the media, that itself is a step in the right direction. That itself is a step in the right direction. The fact that the media didn't have a whiff of it. We know for far too long that there have been media outlets that have been the club's mouthpieces. They've also have been successful of building, a brand online of selling stories to these outlets. So we know that there's so many, and a lot of the time they actually get stuff wrong. I'm not going to sit here and name journalists, but you don't know who I'm talking about. A lot of journalists who want to be the first to break news. This is why I always say, if it ain't from Ornstein, I'm not listening, because Ornstein, one thing about Ornstein, when Ornstein talks, everybody listens, because Ornstein is coming with facts. Like, he's coming with done deals 99% of the time, and he literally came with that. And also, I think Ornstein, shout out to my homie David Ornstein, had a good time. Whilst I was at the Athletic, gave me a lot of good advice. One thing about David Ornstein is that he doesn't do clickbait. He doesn't do any of that sort of stuff. But I think he's very well respected. So clearly he was the one that got this news. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the first place that I saw it was David Ornstein posting about it. And within 30 or so minutes, or 20, 30 minutes, Manchester United were announcing it. Man City announced it, then Manchester United announced it. So clearly this was something that had been on the table, done, signed, all of that stuff. And David Ornstein has them connections. Shout out to him. But the fact that United didn't leak this shows that, does that make you think that Sir Jim Ratcliffe and those involved, Sir Dave's Brailsford, they're playing their cards very close to their chest? Because I think that this was probably not out of thin air. I don't think it was out of thin air. I think it was something that's been in the works for a minute. And I feel like this is something that they'd been working on prior to joining Manchester United, or prior to, coming to an agreement with the Glazers to buy 25%. I think this was one of the options that they had. We had a lot of other names as well, kind of in the mix. But I feel like this was something that was always going to be kept under wraps, because this is a big deal. And I'm pretty sure if City got any kind of wind of the fact that their COO was looking to jump ship, not only jump ship, but jump ship to the other side of Manchester, they might have actually gotten rid of him before he actually left. So they've left on, I think it's on mutual agreement. He's left on mutual agreement because he wants new challenges elsewhere, and they wish him all the best. And I hear that. Am I going to sit here and be like, yes, this is the best thing ever? Oh, yes, listen, we don't know his involvement in those 115 charges. Let's be for real. We don't know if he's going to have 18 months at United, then suddenly he's going to get suspended by FIFA or UEFA. Like, we don't know that. So, but we can sit here and bask in the joy of, potentially Manchester United having a sporting project. Potentially Manchester United having a sporting project with Sir Jim Ratcliffe pushing it, a CEO that knows what to do, knows how to do it, knows how to implement stuff, has a proven track record of doing this stuff. And all he has to do right now for the next, 5 months is to put together a crop of, members that he trusts for certain roles. Like, that's all he has to do, because he's not coming into the job until summer. Does that mean that he's got 5 or so months to put together a team that he entrusts to take United back to the top? And on top of that, they will then be able to identify transfers and give, suggestions to those senior ups so that they can get authorization. It's giving him time basically to get into his role. It's not like he's going to just come straight in and he has to do things whilst learning on, like, getting used to the job. He's got time to come in. His name was on the CC of the email. Man knows what happened. Yeah, no, listen, I said this. There is no way that things were happening at City and this brother had no idea, because you can't be the head of marketing, or I think he was head of marketing at one point. And your sole job is to make the club marketable to brands. So there's no way that these shady contracts were happening, reportedly, about, contracts, sponsorship contracts, that they weren't happening and he weren't aware of it. So I'm hoping that that mess doesn't follow him if that's the case. But right now, I'm just going off of what we know. Big up to Jonathan, says Berrada is being investigated. If found guilty, can be suspended for 1 or 2 years, and why he left heaven for hell. He knows City are guilty. Glazers at their best. Big up to Olumba, says he is running before the storm comes. Let's not get giddy. We are still under Glazers. That guy is just looking out for himself. Business 101. Can't believe people are getting excited. Big up to Monty, says Qatar looking to sue Glazers. They have been shamed in the media and are not happy. Monty also says, what happens if he gets charged while being our CEO? What's the point? I'm sure he gets suspended. I'm pretty sure if there is a charge, then he would get suspended. And I agree with some of the people in the comments. There is no way like he didn't know what was happening. But until that all comes to light, I guess all we can kind of do is just sit tight. But from a sporting perspective and the path that United's going down, I'll be honest, I think it's a step in the right direction. But then again, it's the bare minimum. I think it's the bare minimum to hire someone that knows what to do. Like, I think it's the bare minimum. And unfortunately, United have not had that over the last 10 or so years. So solely because of that, I feel like people are getting excited. And also, I think, you know, when you think about the manager, for far too long, you know, the idea of the manager and having Overmars and all these people at Ajax above him, that is a lot of people's argument, that with the right footballing structure gets the best out of this manager. So this could actually be a positive for the manager. Where the manager finally gets that sporting operations, you know, above him, and all he has to kind of do is focus on coaching. He doesn't have to worry about bringing players in because, you know, there's a CEO that's going to authorize things, that, you know, football director, etc., scouts, recruitment, all of that sort of stuff. I wouldn't say I'm excited, guys. I'll be honest. I wouldn't say I'm excited. I want to see things happening before I even back it, because for far too long, United have been sold short. They've been sold short on the lack of footballing structure. And I think it'll be interesting to see how things pan out. I'm just shocked that it just came out of the blue. Like, I think it was yesterday, right? Am I wrong, guys, to say it was yesterday that this happened? Because I remember I was yesterday. Where was I? I was at my family house, my sister's like a birthday gathering, and I just went on my phone and I just went on Twitter and I just saw like United View tweeting a lot of news. I was like, what's going on? And then I was like, what? United out here just poaching man from City? Like, what the hell is going on? Then the more that I started to read, I had missed all of that kind of news, and it was already announced by the clubs. And I was like, whoa, me being away from my phone for a couple of hours and United's just out here, like I said, real G's move in silence like lasagna. A shout out to Owen, who did not understand that reference. But also, it seems like United are just hiring everyone that's bold. So if you're bold, you might get a job at Manchester United. If you're bold, you better hide your head. Because if United see you, they might try to sign you. They might try to sign you to play on the pitch. They might sign you to work behind the scenes. They might even sign you to maybe, I don't know, be a steward. Be careful. If you're bold, put a hat on. If you don't want to work at United. Because they're just signing bare people. No one's got hair. There's no hair follicles. KG, if you need a job, bro, go to Man United. They're looking for a new presenter for MUTV. KG, head over to Manchester United. Big up to KG as well. Big up to Koala, says. Big up Mina, says, where's Omar from? He's Moroccan. Apparently raised in America, I think. And then he was raised in America, then went to Barcelona to study at 18. And then he dropped out of university. And then that's how he ended up in football. I think he started working in marketing for Barcelona, and basically the rest is history for him. But he seems like a very smart guy to learn 4 important languages, especially in the Western world: English, Spanish, French, and then he knows, I think, Arabic is his mother tongue. It'll be interesting. 1.2 billion in debt. Old Trafford is falling down, etc., etc. Next year, we need another investment. Jim pledged 300 mil investment till the end of this year. I wonder what that 300 million gets. I wonder what that is. That 300 million investment in transfers? Because that's one window. That is really one window. Or is that 300 million in, I don't know, training facilities? Is that 300 million in, fixing the holes in Old Trafford? Because I saw reports a couple of weeks ago that suggested that a company that United are outsourcing for advice on the stadium has basically advised them that they're better off building a whole new stadium, because it will actually cost less to build a new stadium rather than it is to repair Old Trafford. Me personally, I wouldn't want Old Trafford to be broken down. That's just my personal opinion. I would prefer for it to be repaired. I don't know if anyone shares a similar sentiment. Let's not forget him leaving City to be our CEO is a massive step. Listen, whoever's involved in that first sort of success at United, I'm not talking about Carabao Cup success, guys. I'm talking about real league titles, Champions Leagues, etc. The people that are involved in that will be held at a high regard. People like Ed Woodward, Murto, Arnold, etc. No one rates them in it. No one rates them. But the people that come in, and if they build a sporting project that goes on to become something successful, people like Omar Berrada, etc., will have fans respect, I think, forever. As long as, not gonna lie, he does it in a clean way. As long as he does it in a clean way, and 10 years from now, United ain't being held for 150 charges by UEFA, then, they will be held for it. And it's a big deal for him to leave Manchester City, because I said this earlier on United View, if you were watching. He probably feels like he's conquered it all at City. So this is his new challenge, is to build a team from the grass up. He was at City from when they were kind of on the come up. Before Pep actually came, he was at City working in marketing. I think he was like head of something. So he's kind of seen that come up for City, where they were once the neighbours that no one cared for, and suddenly they became the noisy neighbours. So in that instance, him coming to Manchester United, I will always say is a step up. But also it's an opportunity for him to build something again from the bottom with others. And that big, call it bias, but that success will feel 10 times better than the success he's probably had at City. And that's not me saying United are going to be successful under, INEOS and him. I'm just saying, if they go on to do great stuff and they go on to take United back to being a great club, competing for titles, competing for Champions League, winning Champions Leagues, winning titles, etc., that success will feel much better because of the caliber of the team. It's Manchester United. It is Manchester United. 4 languages for a Moroccan is basic. I know Moroccans who speak 7 or 8 language. To be honest, that's true. I know a few Moroccans that speak. All my Moroccan friends that I know speak Spanish and Arabic. Sometimes I meet some who speak French sometimes, but not all the time. But a lot of them do speak Spanish as well. The Glazers really are strategic with their news. They know when to give it to us to distract us from real issues, like why extending crap players' contracts. We're going to come into the talk about players. We're going to talk about Anthony Martial. We're going to talk a bit about transfer links that have happened of recent, and we're also going to talk about, should I say the crap players? I feel like there's been a character assassination of Aaron Wan-Bissaka of recent in the press. I don't know if you guys seen that, but we're gonna obviously talk about that as well. City getting relegated to the 3rd division with them 115 charges. Listen, the day that gets announced, the day that they get found guilty or whatever, I will be here. I will stream. I will go live. I know I'm a United fan, but I will go live just to be there for their downfall. Simple as that. But quickly on the idea of Anthony Martial staying, it's interesting. I'm very interested about what he said, what his agent actually said about Anthony Martial. So if you have not heard, because this is actually not recent news, it's been over the last few days, Anthony Martial will be staying at Manchester United until the summer, meaning he will leave when his contract finishes. United will not be selling him. Reportedly, he's turned down any sort of potential move. He has to get surgery for a consistent hip problem that he has had, and this hip problem I think has been consistent since under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And I remember this because he did say in a media interview that he did that he did with French media a couple, I think it was a year or so ago. It was about 18 months ago, and he basically said that he played through injury for a manager, and the manager never thanked him, and the manager never defended him. I think it was a kind of like a shot at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I feel unfortunate for the way that this has planned out for Anthony Martial. But I do blame him for some of it, and I blame the club for some of it. And maybe this is why it's a great thing that United are getting a CEO, because I feel like anybody would have looked at his loan spell at Sevilla and thought, well, if he can't do it at Sevilla, why are we bringing him back to now spend another 2 years? He went on loan, and now he's been at United for 2 years. Like, how is that even okay? He had a bad loan spell at Sevilla. Wasn't really impressive. He was poor before he even went on loan, and then he came back and had 2 years left on his contract, and United did not try to offload him. Whether you have to cut your losses and take a small fee, I think that in the long run that might have been better for United, because this year United really haven't got much from Martial. I think bar the Everton game this season, they haven't really got much from him. He was fit for a duration of the season and he just didn't play. And then suddenly, come December time, he's out consistently and now probably won't play till the end of the season. He's another player that I think has just been mishandled by the club. I think he's another example of a player that United should have cut their losses a lot sooner. And I'm hoping that sentiment kind of rubs off onto the new ownership that come in. I'm hoping that they look at players that have gone on loan spells or players that have been here for a number of years and just haven't really gotten any better but haven't really gotten any worse. I hope they look at that and think, let's just cut our losses. Let's just scrap it all and start from scratch. Because all the time, especially when new managers come in at United, we always talk about, they've inherited 4 different managers transfer windows, i.e., 4 managers have contributed to the players that are playing. Let this always what I hear is let this manager have their own starting 11 or their own squad, and you'll see how they do. Well, how about we just scrap it all, and the sporting project that starts is just done from scratch. It's just done from scratch. Martial came in as a as a wonder kid. He was like, I remember when we brought him, he was like one of the top 10 youngsters to watch. And his goal contribution to games, I wouldn't say it's the worst. It definitely wasn't the worst. It's actually on par with Marcus Rashford. But it's just been unfortunate the way that his time at United has kind of turned out. And also, it's been too long. It's been too long. It's been what? 7 years? I want to say, maybe. I might be wrong. Martial was Joel Glazer's favorite player. He's really good. Big up to Matt says, people act like Martial's dug his claws in and is stealing a living, but realistically, the priorities have just been elsewhere, and him sticking around so we can focus on other signings has made sense. That's true. That's true. I do kind of agree with that. Jonathan says, if Jassim take them to court, this can turn ugly for the Glazers. I know. Damn, it's so windy outside. I don't know. I don't think you guys can hear that, but I feel like, guys, when I was I'm just saying, if I have to go outside, I need to put bricks in my pocket because that wind is absolutely mental outside. But what I will say is, I know a lot of people have been talking about this paperwork, the financial paperwork that's come out in America after the Glazers sold up some of their shares, and it was reported that Sheikh Jassim couldn't prove, the funds or the eligibility, of the funds and where it's come from, etc. And now reportedly they want to take the Glazers to court. I think they're claiming defamation and the fact that it's not true what they're saying, and it wasn't the case. That will be another thing to be. I think I saw some people alluding that the announcement of Omar Berrada, was sort of to kind of take the attention away from that, because that was picking up a lot of sort of news especially within the fan side and within the public side. And I think, if anything, maybe Qatar, the Sheikh Jassim and the Qataris just want to come out and just verify what has been said. Because don't get me wrong, I don't know if you lot are following, Newcastle's CEO is going through some shit right now. Excuse my language. Newcastle's CEO is going through some potential shit right now. And I think what the Glazers are trying to insinuate is that they were just trying to keep their money kind of clean. They were trying to keep everything legit and clean. Because, you know, if Sheikh Jassim couldn't prove that the funds were not state-backed or whatever, which, don't get me wrong, I think he would have been able to prove. I think he would have been able to prove that it was his. I do think that. But it also, if you guys read the summarized version of it, Sir Jim changed his offer multiple times. Eventually, the offer that he gave was the one that appealed more to the Glazers, because the Glazers knew they were not kind of getting... Bro, guys, this wind is scaring me. Oh my God, I can't concentrate. It's windy and it's rainy outside. I'm really scared. I hate wind, guys. I hate the sound of wind. Like, I really don't like it. And you lot can't hear it, so I just feel like I'm just bugging out. Riri says, yo, your face just now. Honestly, if I make weird facial expressions, it just means the wind is getting louder. That's it. It just means that. I'm going to go through some super chats quickly. Big up to Kina says, INEOS are ruthless. This is a sign of things to come. Ten Hag is on watch. Saying that Ten Hag is, being inspected. I think Ten Hag was on watch regardless. But I think with INEOS, I feel like they've been able to kind of come in, and I think they've come in with a game plan. I think, from time they came in, they already had, plan A, working with Ten Hag, how they're going to do it. Plan B, if they have to let go of the manager, how they're going to do it, what managers are going to... I think they've come with their plans and their ideas and certain outcomes. They've got plans for it. So regardless of whether INEOS came in or not, I think Ten Hag is more under watch now than he probably was in the past. Definitely. I feel like the Glazers are more lenient. Unfortunately, I know it kind of sucks to say that, but I do feel like INEOS might bring back some standards in the club, whether it's standards from the players that you expect, standards from the managers that you expect. And it would be nice to see that trickle into the other side of, Manchester United stuff. So like the women's team and the academies and all of that kind of stuff. Because United's academy was once one of the best ones. They were once one of the best academies. And now you've got other academies kind of bypassing that in England. United are buying a lot of talents, 15, 14-year-olds, and bringing them over. Whereas, the likes of Kobbie Mainoo came up from a young age, I think 7 years old, Marcus Rashford, etc. So that for me, it'll be interesting to see basically what INEOS kind of do. Big up to Hasnain with the super chat, says, hi, it's Usman. Big up to Usman. I'm going to reply to your email. I'll reply to it this week, inshallah. But big up, says, loving the show. Keep up the good work. Do you think Man United will win the FA Cup? I can hope. I could hope that they would win the FA Cup. I think United, if they continue to get like last season, like honestly, guys, I feel like United got far in the FA Cup with a lot of luck and also with a lot of home draws, similar to the Carabao Cup. The thing with the cup. The thing with the FA Cup is at the moment, obviously, it's still those smaller. There's a lot more smaller clubs still in the competition. So we got Newport coming up, which I expect us to win. Same as Wigan. And then as the competition goes on, if the bigger clubs knock each other out, that might put United in a better position to kind of get far. Do we have the quality to kind of make runs? One thing I know about the FA Cup is, you just have to take your chances. Like, you have to take your chances. In the FA Cup final last year, I was at Wembley watching the game, and United just didn't take their chances. That's, they didn't create much, but also they did not take the chances when it did come. And in a final, City showed us, you just take that one chance, you can walk away with the trophy. They did it in the Champions League. They did it in the FA Cup. I think United could win the FA Cup only if they play well throughout the competition. No lucky results. Last year we had that Fulham game, which I think it was lucky for us to win, but no lucky results. be the stronger side all the time. And I think United could go far. I think United have to win something. There's no way you can win a Carabao Cup last year and then win nothing this year. That makes no sense. And that is similar. It's a similar opinion I have for the women's team as well. So there's no way that you can United can't go from last year, in my opinion, finishing fourth and with a trophy to basically finishing 8th, 9th this season with nothing, with absolutely nothing, because that means you've just regressed. You took 2 steps forward and then 5 steps back. And unfortunately, I think if United finish out of the top 4 without an FA Cup, I think Ten Hag will get going. I think he will get going. Big up to Riri, been a member for a month, says they were never going to sell to an Arabic nation. Just like Riri, you guys can join the membership club. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content, and you get to be a minion. You get a nice little minion emoji next to your name in the chat. And I think it's a very cool emoji. Big up to Riri. I think I think with this whole idea of selling to state-backed funds or state-backed ownership, I think with Newcastle, we've seen what is kind of created, and also with UAE as well. Although I think the biggest issue that they have right now is that with Abu Dhabi are those who own Manchester City, guys. I think there's a lot of caution around Abu Dhabi's involvement politically with the United Kingdom and their influence on the political sector. So they have good, if you don't follow politics in the UK, I'll just give you a quick breakdown. But the government here, or the UK government, have strong ties with the Middle East, but particular countries, which include the UAE, which is what Abu Dhabi fall under. That's actually the capital of the UAE, and like countries like Saudi Arabia, they've got strong relationships, whether it's, selling weapons, whether it's political relations, military relations, financial relations. The UAE own a lot of stuff in the UK. Saudis spend a lot of money on military weapons. So I think a lot of people's caution in the football world kind of comes from, if, for example, this Manchester City, the charges, etc., will the likes of, the Crown Prince of the UAE, etc., get involved and kind of flex his muscles on the British government? I saw a journalist tweeting saying that he asked for, so recently, the Minister of Sport in the UK, I don't know what they're called, but the Minister of Sport in the UK recently had, I think it was a meeting with the UAE about something, and they've asked for the minutes of that meeting, and it's not being disclosed. So it could get to that point where political influence happens, and unfortunately, I think that was one reason why a lot of people didn't want Sheikh Jassim or Qatar to come in, because there was no proof where the funds were coming from. It's a lot of money, and it's also possible, it's the idea of state-backed. If it's a state-backed project, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Oh shit! Big up to Riri, just gifted 5 memberships. Big up. That's a big W. Big up to Riri. Appreciate the support, everyone. For those who are members, those who send in super chats, it really helps the channel to grow as well. And of course, the channel's going to be growing. Big up, whoever. Let me see who got the memberships. I can see. Big up, Monty got a membership. Jonathan got a membership. Broderick got a membership. And Dipesh and Niso got a membership as well. So you lot can drop some emojis in the chat. Big up to Riri for that. I appreciate it all the time. Ridwan says, Storm Isha. It's man windy, but who named it Isha? Yo, the storms in the UK just have unusual names. Like, they've got unusual names. Listen, if you go outside today or tomorrow, guys, put rocks in your pockets. I'm not joking. Put bricks in your bags. I'm not kidding. I don't want any of you lot to be flying away. I do not want any of you guys to fly away. My house is surrounded by trees. I'm on duck and cover settings right now. Imran says, Mina acting like a 5-year-old. Come on. Just because I said I'm scared of the wind. Let's quickly talk about Manchester United transfer-wise, because it's been a very quiet transfer window. But you know what that means, guys? Next week, deadline day, bam, United getting someone on loan. So United getting someone on loan. It's not going to be Karim Benzema, because I know this has been the discussion over the last couple of weeks about, not just with Manchester United. I've seen Arsenal fans talking about it. I've seen Chelsea fans talking about it. I've seen a lot of people that are in dire need of a striker right now. talking about the idea of having Karim Benzema on loan at their club for the rest of the season. I don't see United going down that route. I've seen the news with Choupo-Moting kind of getting stronger. I'm just going to quickly check what's the most recent. The most recent news was Fabrizio reporting that Bayern Munich hope to keep Eric Choupo-Moting, but the player is open to joining Manchester United. It's all up to United. So essentially, it looks like the ball is in United's court, and I wonder if we could count on United to make a positive decision. I wonder if we could count on United to make the right decision. That's it. That's my only question. Do you guys would you rather? And this was my point that I was alluding to earlier on the stream with United View. I was saying that I would rather not sign anyone just so that we don't sign another stopgap player. Like, that's it. Literally, that is the only thing. You know, we so long complain about the idea of signing temporary players on loan, old players. You know, we did it with Ighalo. We did it with so many people. We did it with obviously Wout Weghorst most recently, but we did it with Ighalo in the past. We brought in I think it was like Cavani, etc. Cavani actually I think was a good signing. Just unfortunate the way his time ended at United. But I would honestly, if it means that unfortunately Rasmus Højlund has to carry that burden and he has to carry that weight, and United might have to play Rashford up top, because the way that I see it is, if you are trying to move away from a flaw that you've had for so long, and that flaw is signing someone on loan, an old player who doesn't really do much. Be for real, guys. Who has Ighalo? The only memory I have of Ighalo yet is when he did that post-match interview. I think it was after the Europa League game that he scored, and he was like, "In that position, I just have to smash it." That's one of my favorite memes ever. Like, I love, like, when I play FIFA with my friends and we play pro clubs, yeah, and I score like a screamer, I just have to say that, and they know what I'm talking about. But outside of that, what did he do? Wout Weghorst, outside of that knee slide that he did in front of United fans at the Carabao Cup final, really, what did he do? If United are going to move away from this idea of stopgap signings, whether it's a stopgap signing across the season, whether it's a stopgap signing for a loan halfway through the season, if United are going to move away from that, they need to start it now. They need to start it now. They let what's that young striker? They let the young striker go on. Hugo, I think his name is. Excuse my English if I've mispronounced his name, but they've let him go out on loan, who could have been a backup option. I'm not saying that he's the answer to the front line, but he's definitely someone that could share a little bit of the burden with Rasmus Højlund. Obviously, we have the likes of Marcus Rashford as well. Anthony Martial is having surgery, so I anticipate he won't be back anytime soon. But is there anyone in the chat that thinks that Choupo-Moting is the better choice than nothing? Like, is there anyone in the chat that thinks that? Let's bring in Kai Rooney. I saw that he had like an assist today for United. He could be someone that can share the burden with Rasmus Højlund. We'll never know. We will actually never know. But with the whole, because it's not just Choupo-Moting we've been linked to this season. We've been linked to Choupo-Moting this month. We've been linked to Thomas Muller this month. We've been linked to who else? Who am I missing, guys? Who am I missing that we've been linked to? Because we've been linked to a few. We're moving like a care home. We're moving like a care home by signing old players. Like, unfortunately, like, I know it sounds bad to say, and beggars can't really be choosers, but in this moment we have to be choosers. Jonathan says, "Mina, we are broke. It's a stopgap or nothing." Then let it be nothing. Let it be nothing. Honestly, I know. And the thing is I get that sounds wrong, but my explanation for it, I hope my explanation for why I say that kind of explains why I'm saying that. Because, you know, we can't get rid of this toxic behavior in the club, which one of them is stopgap signings, old stopgap signings. That's one of the problems we have. So we can't get rid of that if we keep doing it. It's like us saying, "Oh, we're just going to do it one more time. We're just going to do it one more time, and then we're going to stop doing it. Then next January, we're going to come back. We're going to do it again." What was the name of the Fulham striker who went to Saudi? Mitrovic. Talking about Saudi, just quickly, briefly on that. It seems like that project is falling to shits because it seems like a lot of players wants to leave. I saw Emerick Laporte saying he could possibly leave. Obviously, Cristiano Ronaldo came out recently in a interview that he did. I think it was in Saudi. I'm not too sure, but he did an interview recently, and he did say that he said that Saudi league was better than the French league. He said it was more competitive, it was more skilled, etc. But it seems like a lot of people who have gone over to Saudi now are looking to dip. Emerick Laporte is one of them. Karim Benzema is one of them. Henderson is one that left. You know, it'll be interesting to see. Neymar is obviously out injured for the rest of the season. I forget the likes of Koulibaly's there, Kante's there, Eduardo Mendy is there, Yassine Bono is there. Renan Lodi is moving over. I don't know if he's moved over already, but he's moving over. Ruben Neves. There's so many players that have just dipped, and Henderson has been the first one that is starting the move to return. I would take Abu Bakr for the banter. I would take Abu Bakr just for his World Cup celebration. Honestly, I would take Abu Bakr just for his World Cup celebration. That was hilarious. But big up to everyone, man. You lot know what it is. I'm gonna wrap it up. My sister just messaged my family group chat to say that the storm has broken her garden table. I'm just gonna reply back laughing. The storm is moving mad, guys. The storm is moving mad. But you know what's moving madder? I'm moving madder with the content this week. We're going to bring out a lot of content. Hopefully, I'll be consistent throughout the week. Going to do, obviously, some pre-match build-up ahead of the FA Cup on the weekend next week. We got the Marcel and Mina show that's coming as well. Saeed will be back on the channel as well. We're going to bring back the EAFC live streams. But this time, I will play people on stream. I'm just going to round up a few people to play on stream. Subscribers, members, always members get priority as per usual. But we're going to do that as well. I've got a lot of pre-recorded videos that is coming out. You guys know what it is. It's as simple as that. Big up to everyone. You lot know what it is. I'll be back tomorrow with Mina and Marcel show. And we're going to be doing a double header watch along for the AFCON. Egypt and Ghana both have to win to go through, and they are both playing two different teams. So that is going to be a very interesting one. Big up to everyone. You lot know what it is. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. Big up to those who sent in super chats, those who gifted memberships. Shout out to Riri as always. Why is Koala deleting messages in the chat? Koala, I will actually revoke your what has he done? What has Koala done? Unless that was Koala, don't do that. I will put you on a timeout. Don't do that. Don't be deleting messages in the chat. I was about to do my outro and I'm seeing that he's deleting messages in the chat just because Riri said she'll take Brobbey. You know what? Yeah, delete it. I'm joking. Big up to everyone. You guys know what it is. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday night. I'll be back tomorrow. Like I said, watch along vibes, United content vibes, all of that stuff. You lot know what it is. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday and I hope you have a great week ahead. Hopefully the weather's not moving that mad tomorrow, but we will see. Be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. You can join the membership club. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content. As always, guys, you know what it is. It's your girl, Mina. I'll be back tomorrow. Peace.